started. Gundam fight all set. Ready? Go!
Well, folks, another weekend has come and gone. We've begun to settle into Monday as it too has passed us by, and it is time for the Mechpit chat. How we doing, folks? This is Ironcaster out here in Mechland to welcome you to this week that will be, because we're always looking to the future. How we doing, folks out there? I think I'm doing pretty good here, as people in the kitchen are quick to use that. That's how these things go. You press live, and that's when everyone decides to call. But guys, no matter, these are just those little hiccups in life that keep, bumping in the way, but you don't let them quite hold you down. All that said, though, I want to welcome you guys in as we have a new week to enjoy. First and foremost, let me go ahead and say hello out there to the fine folks that have stopped on by and been kind enough to let me into their week, into just a little bit of their time. Guys like Vince Womack, who, as always, is here to remind us to crash and burn. What up, Vince? Who's out here helping greet people. And, of course, DJ Ronnie G. By the way, I gotta get you on the chat. I gotta get you on the channel sometime. We'll sit down. We'll talk some robots. I don't know. We'll figure something out there. It just might be clear enough to use my telescope. Hey, dude, what kind of telescope do you have? Are you able to get any photos with it, or are we talking a more simple classic design? Like, I want to know, like, what are you looking for? Who else do we have? Oh, we're just kind of getting all caught up here. Hiccup. You mean my Monday mess ups? Look. This is how it all goes. Monday we kind of get everything worked out of the system. We get the joints worked out. We get everything kind of settled in, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna be smooth sailing for the rest of the week. Once we get past the rough patch, we're gonna be fine. You know what? If that's what the Mechpit chat has to be, then I will happily be that little raised that little raised rug that you always trip on, but you keep there just to help, keep things going. It brings the room, helps hold the room together. That's what the Mechpit chat does. We're just sort of this slightly, this little rug that sticks out just a little bit, but you like it because it helps keep everything together. I'm gonna walk through my front door while acquiring a target. Like, I mean, if you can get a sight on Cybertron, let me know. I'd love to see some pictures of that, buddy. No, it is been kind of a relaxing weekend. Things were kind of fun. They kind of went. And in the event we need a moderate access or Xeon fleet movements, we can do that too. Well, that might not be a problem anymore. So, let's see. This week, I actually had a little mech related stuff going on. I posted a video. Some people might have seen, might not. But I guess kind of to start us off with something. Thursday night, I went out and caught a movie. Actually, do I still have my ticket stub? Probably. And I went and caught the little movie. I do. The little movie kind of condensed, like special event for. There we go. For the upcoming Mobile Suit Gundam series. As I've now learned to properly pronounce, Gundam GQs. I don't know what they're smoking when they come up with these names. But anyway, apparently Gundam GQs is what happens when you play with the butterfly theory. Because everything we thought we knew about Gundam before, about the timeline, has apparently been thrown out the window. So it's apparently not even an issue anymore. So, hey, it's good for anyone who's catched up into Gundam. It is it was enough that makes me want to see more of the upcoming show. GQ. I mean, you're not wrong, Vince. That's basically what I think most people are going to say, rather than try to go GQs or yeah, just GQ is probably going to be the simplest thing to go. Anyone who wants, especially anyone who wants to save on those Twitter characters and not have to like have that whole extended like click here to keep reading thing. They're going to want to keep it short and simple. Gundam GQ, beautiful, buddy. I think you hit the nail on the head. But it has been uh it's been a little bit of a change. We're simultaneously trying to have underground Gundam fights, like it's like Lucha Underground, as well as trying to have a little bit of some Char member berries. So, from a perspective, there's kind of this built-in idea that I can see where people may not be as fond of Gundam GQs. Though apparently though realistically the thing is the show's ultimately gonna I think it have a bunch kind of playing against it. You've got the already well first you've already got the issue of the Gundam in particular isn't exactly a very appealing design that doesn't well it's not that it isn't an appealing design. The Gundam GQs is ultimately a model that doesn't fit a lot of the more atypical Gundam expectations or expectations that people want out of a giant robot called Gundam. It hits certain nails in the head. It's got the colors right. It's got the horns. So there's a lot of stuff that technically checks boxes, but then we decided we wanted to be round and also square at the same time. So we're gonna make sure we have all these sharp angles and a lot of acute angles in there too. But in animation, though, it's beautiful. I thought it looks fantastic. I'm like, okay, I kind of want to know more. Let me see what's going on with this. Hang on, let me actually, rather than staring at my mean mug, we're gonna go ahead and wait. Has it gotten longer? It it's only as long as my hair. Uh, Is that so bad? I hang on. I feel like I have to defend myself here a little bit. But uh, Vince, you're not wrong because Ava is part. I guess the Ava was in part an inspiration with it because I think one of the guys who worked on some of the Evangelion movies is working on GQ. So there is a crossover there, even down to some of like the animation cells, the way they like the way the characters are modeled, certain animation like keyframes. There's a lot of Ava that goes into it. So you're not wrong. Makin Key. Yes, good man. Oh, I've seen a bit of that, you lucky guy. All right. It's been a minute. Was this the butt battle? No. I'm thinking of a different show. I need more Gundam like I need more Bleach. I really didn't need a new season. I didn't need them to try and redo the finale of Bleach. Because ultimately, that last arc was just bad. Like, I remember when they were trying to get into all that stuff and they tried to get into this whole thing of, oh, we're gonna have Ichigo basically be everything. He's a Soul Reaper. He's a Bount. He's a Vizard. He's a Quincy. He's gotta do it all, and it's like, why? This is you're kind of losing me here. No, I think okay, because I don't know. I always mix those up. I mean, then again, looking at sort of the key art for Mach and Key and kind of knowing the appeal it gets to it, can you really blame me for mixing those up? There we go. We'll take away my meme mug for a little bit. There we go. There's certainly a little bit of an appeal there. I can see to it. But all right, I think we've appreciated that for enough. Let's see. Where was I at? I mean, aside from losing my mind. I mean, here, let me. We're tell you what, we are making progress, believe it or not, with the Annie list. Like, is you guys mock me for having this insanely long, for this having this insanely long Annie list of stuff that I'm like totally gonna get to. Just like I have a box full of miniatures, I'm totally gonna paint one day. It's just a matter of time. Like, yeah, it's like they've been sitting there for 5 years. That those minis, I'm gonna paint them one day. One day. It's all. Let's see. Didn't admit his any. It hasn't. I've been trying to pluck at it. Okay, my Annie list is actually. It hasn't gotten shorter. Okay, but I've been watching episodes on stuff that's already on the list that I'm totally watching through. Okay. So I mean, for example, the current stuff on the list that I'm like that is in the watching list. Freerin, I'm halfway through episode 14. One Piece is just a treadmill that is gonna. You know what? I'm gonna get back to One Piece as soon as me and Brandon can sit down and talk about One Piece, which is totally gonna happen. Okay, which we're gonna do, but we want to like do something special for it. Solo leveling, I am all caught up on, so that one is I can't watch anymore because I gotta wait till Saturday. Shangri-La Frontier, same thing. Red Ranger, I'm totally gonna watch an episode tonight and be all caught up. Behe Neko, the one Brandon keeps showing the clips of with the elf lusting over the cat. I think I've got like a couple episodes left on it. It's a work in progress, but like I've got like 20, 30 episodes of Harlock, about 25 of Devilman to go. Guild Receptionist, I'm 5 or 6 on. Worthless Appraiser, I'm an episode behind on. Otaku Neat, I am admittedly behind on. I think I have like 6 more episodes to go. And then Gotcha Man has like 100 episodes. It's coming, guys. It's coming, guys. We're gonna watch. I'm gonna watch this stuff. It's gonna go through, and then I can look at some of the other lists. Like, you know, so it's 13 shows I'm watching, and if we go to planning, there's only 647 shows. It's gonna happen one of these days. Just don't do what I did and turn around and buy a 3D printer to print more minis while you have box of minis to paint plus board game figs. I was sort of just totally not thinking about buying a 3D printer today for the sake of one-page rules and like tabletop wargaming, which I've never done before. It's not just a like passing fancy where I'm going to go spend a couple $100 on a hobby that I'll totally do. It would be like well, I feel like I should say something like, "Oh, it's like getting a set of golf clubs and then never playing golf." Look, Vince, I'm just saying that's been my slogan for a number for years. I was gonna get a T-shirt made up of it, but I'm gonna do it later. Like it's maybe once I knock out a couple of my 600 anime to watch. But then also like it's really this, you see this list really isn't that bad, especially if I were to start cutting if I were especially if I were to start cutting out like you know some of the sequels to shows that I haven't even started yet. We could probably knock this down to like 500 if I knocked out all of the uh 37 Captain Harlock sequels or 23 or 42 Lupin the Third movies I haven't watched yet. We could do this. We got to call it. You guys have fun. You think you're gonna sit back and relax, do nothing at all, and take it easy, and then you turn around. And it's like that's when everyone wants you. That's when people are gonna turn around and decide I need to go like make all the noise in the kitchen, like right when you press live. That's how it goes, though. It's ultimately it, it's sort of like the universe has a sense of humor to it. It's just that ultimately you are sometimes going to being the butt of the joke. You think you're gonna wind up, uh, you think you're gonna wind up always being on the side of it and laughing with everyone, but then sometimes everyone just laughs at you. It's how life goes, and you have to learn to kind of deal with it. Let's see. I spent probably 100 a month in. Oh, dude, Das Wolfen. Let me stop and ask you: Have are any of those subs to companies that you haven't printed a mini of in 6 months? If so, do you really need it? Or do you have the STLs already downloaded? You don't need to keep paying for them? It's always a fun thing that you want to check all these things out. You want to kind of get into it, but then sometimes you just wind up kind of overlooking it, and I feel it where you start thinking, hey, just maybe one here, one there, it'll be fine. But then you wind up like, oh no, oh my gosh, they're using the microwave now. I don't know. I get a little frustrated sometimes, but that's family. You love them, you hate them sometimes, and you make do. So, oh yeah, it is what it is. And I am also looking at just a massive list of shows that I need to get to at some point here. Okay. So I guess to kind of actually get into a little subject of some discussion here. Uh, with all this in mind, I find myself sometimes looking back to and kind of thinking on some of these beloved franchises, stuff that I enjoyed, and how time has kind of changed things. We talk about our D&D, we talk about our hobbies, and it's like we like them for what they were then, or we like where they're at now, but we don't want to just always stay in that one place. You know, they sometimes have to keep moving. You have to kind of keep going and enjoy them for what it is. As an example, and getting into it, I'm really enjoying. Uh, I'm really enjoying Super Sentai. I think the current series, number one, Gozier, I can never remember the name, but has been pretty solid. But then you stop and look at what all kind of came, how I was ultimately introduced to all of this Super Sentai stuff. The original show that I came to know. It's Power Rangers, specifically that Mighty Morphin Power Rangers era, and how much that kind of meant to be back then. That being this 5-year-old kid, seeing the stuff for the first time, go, go, Power Rangers. It was electric. It was exciting. It was like discovering a show that had that same energy of the X-Men animated show, the X-Men animated series' intro with that guitar riff. And it was exciting because you're like, oh my gosh, this is also crazy. And you're like, you at that age, you don't understand what you're seeing, what you're loving, and it's great. You love it. It's like, holy cow, this is there's all kinds of crazy energy. I love this. And then it kept going, and you're like, whoa, there's so much other stuff here. I'm gonna keep going. I'm loving this more, and I have been. I've in recent years I've come back and I've been appreciating more and more of this stuff, and especially now that Hasbro's basically given up on Power Rangers to the point where they're just flat outright licensing the stuff out. And then I look back, and I'm like, you know, that Mighty Morphin era does hold a special place in my heart, and I enjoy it. However, it doesn't have to be the mythos, the sort of central seed point that everything of an entire franchise needs to be built around. Ideas like the Morphin grid, the Morphin energy. It's there was a magic to it at the time that really made it enjoyable to where uh it felt like it was a new mythology, like opening up right before my eyes. That was unlike much else I had seen at the time. It was accessible enough for a child to be able to enjoy, which ultimately is kind of what made it work. And I guess I could have kind of lied to myself and say like, "Oh, it's great enough that like adults could still enjoy it." Uh, Speaking of adults that enjoy things, we have a special guest in the background. So let me introduce him real quick, as we'll kind of bring him into it. Hey, Punkwaddle.
I'm adult. Wait. I'm an adult.
So I was kind of reminiscing here a little bit and kind of getting into this thought of how ultimately Power Rangers has been so kind of married to this idea of that like 1993 series that has become basically the bedrock, the iconic like year zero that everything has been built on and unable to escape.
Yeah, everything does seem each version is derivative of the next, but also derivative of the first. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's sort of especially the thing that it's always it's something that's kind of especially in recent years as I've come to enjoy more of the Sentai, that's really turned me off to Power Rangers is how the franchise essentially worships the Mighty Morphin era.
Hmm.
Like everything goes back to those suits, to that Megazord.
Yeah,
And
because sorry, go ahead.
it's something that I've been really annoyed by for a few years now, especially now that I've opened myself up to more of the Super Sentai. I appreciate it. I enjoy it for what it is. Tommy is, was fantastic as a character, as both the hero, the villain, that story of his character unfurling out with the Green Ranger.
Yeah.
But basically become the the defining event of that entire thing that everything is in circle of. And I mean, we saw this with characters like Lord Dracan with the comics, the Boom comics that had come out. Everything's become so central and wrapped around that.
Mm-hmm.
And so so I've gone over to the Sentai, and I'm just so like enjoying it because it's like every season's able to just do its own thing where we don't have to play by this mythos that you know we had set up in this last season. We're just gonna tell our story for this, like, for the year, and when we're done, we're going to shut this box, and someone else can come in and, tell their own story and, come up with their own toys to sell.
Mhm.
And all of this is sort of kind of flying in the face of, well, some little stories that kind of popped up this week. And I guess I could pull this up here. So this is related, but let me ask you: How do you feel about AI?
Well, that's a loaded question. Is this how it relates to the Power Rangers or AI in general?
Oh, this is related.
Well, okay. So I think, summation as quickly as I can. AI is a neat tool, is a neat consultant. It's basically a really high powered search engine seeded with lots of different input and ideas, and it will work with you from what it's seeded to understand between how inputs was given to it to what you're defining and describing, and it'll help be a go-between to kind of try to create what you want. Or it can be a thing that you put in a prompt and then you let AI do all the work and say, look what I created.
So, if you were to, how would you feel about using it to go back and touch up older like TV shows?
You mean like scaling up kind of stuff?
Kinda.
Okay.
So, Playmates, in association with Hasbro, is using AI to digitally enhance season 1 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to be released on YouTube and Netflix. Now, even more phenomenal with the power of AI. Season 1 will start dropping in July, with more to follow. The goal of Reignition is to build a new generation of Power Rangers fans, and this is yet another step towards that.
You know, going back to the way you started this conversation when I popped in, that what? Okay,
You're starting to see why I have this problem.
Well, in context, this is bad. Because what are they going to use AI to enhance? Is it like those videos on YouTube where like Harry Potter, but AI ruined it? Like, to reimagine, rescale, just insert random things in random places that weren't there, so it's more of a deep fake and/or Mandela effect?
I mean, it's ultimately we don't know what else, we don't know what to do with this franchise. We're just gonna go hit the reset button. We're gonna basically uh, re-release the original show and hope that this is gonna win kids over. Which, yeah, that kind of makes sense, but also we really don't know what to do with this show. Also, this isn't the first time they've done this like re-release of the original show.
Mm-hmm.
Because this was about 15 years ago. They would do things like this, where as part of like that 2010 2011 sort of era, they would like do these little cutouts and kind of bring people in. And well, actually, that's a really good timing. Speaking of bringing people in, give me 1 second here. He doesn't like his clip, but what else can I give him?
Mercy, good masters, please don't kill me.
I'll try and calm him.
Shut up, dear peasant, rest your head, or I'll let the sorceress kill your ass head.
Amazingly, the peasant is no longer panicked.
Right.
I don't know which one's fucking worst.
I'm going to keep finding better ones.
This is what it's like to have friends.
Apparently.
What's going on, fellas?
In modern age, yeah.
No, just kind of caught up in this thought of the Power Rangers and how we're going back to the same well, trying to, trying to restart a corpse. But
Yeah.
I was
See,
Yeah.
see, going back to the same well is okay, as long as other people don't pee in it.
Well, okay, that's fair, but also there's the whole thing about necromancing the IP, which it does feel like they're trying to stir new life into it. Like, if there's something died too close to the well is soured.
I guess. Usually people shit right in it. That's usually soured by that.
Oh, okay.
Foot Patrol.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I was sort of so caught up in the little moment of that I didn't properly welcome you guys.
Oh.
Guys, how are we doing? Punkwaddle, I am so sorry. I got so caught up in sort of myself, my little misery there that I did not properly welcome you. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. It's yeah. Well, in Texas we had a nice weekend, so we tried to get out, do some stuff, do some yard work, enjoy the 70s weather. So yeah, I felt alive.
I'm really trying to remember what the weather was like this weekend here. I think I wore my trench coat because it was colder.
It was cold.
How about you, Snacks? How are you doing?
I'm doing very shitty. but I am working through the cosplay so far. I will tell you, building a suit, like a suit that a person like myself wears, is daunting and difficult, and I had to redo some new patterns and stuff like that. It's like, oh, the arms are just like hanging flat. They are all wonky donkey because I am not a puppet, so I have to build it a little different. Gatorix clothes. I know how to make his clothes. I don't know how to make mine yet. That's okay. The good news is, once I'm done making my suit the way I want, I can just downsize it and I can make the other puppets it, It's like, oh, this is how we do it. Full-size Gator cosplay. One of these days, yes, but only if Ironcaster is there at that convention and Snowdub is there as well. Yeah. Punkwaddle too, that'd be great. That'd just be the trifecta.
What about a full size Charlie B?
Well, I just have to go get one of those big brown bathrobes.
Yeah, I guess so.
And then we can have a new clip.
Well, it's the. Is it like the wolf fur that you get at Walmart and whatnot? Is that what he's made of, or is he made of something else?
Oh, it was basically something like that.
Yeah,
but
that's for fur. That's pretty cheap, so you could actually make a pretty relatively inexpensive fursuit for that. And I like how we're talking flurries because of Shum. God damn it, Shum.
True. Why do we acknowledge the horse?
We love her
lover?
in chat. It's just Shum is a character of chaos sometimes. When I say sometimes, I mean most of the time.
Yeah.
He's a character of chaos almost as much as Gator. God dang it.
So, speaking of a little bit of chaos, and this is gonna be a little monkey wrench for you. So, one of our favorite shows that we talked about here last year, that I'll be quick to bring up many a time whenever I can, is Bravern.
Bravern! I love Bravern.
Did you know they're still doing things with it in Japan?
Are they?
Yes.
Ooh.
So, about what was it be? Week. About
I
8 to 10.
I love Bravern. He's the best. Because he's a Marine. He's a United States Marine.
So about 8 to 10 days ago, there was a wrestling event in Japan.
Oh no.
Oh, I think I know which thing.
And
posted
Bravern
it.
showed up at it.
Yeah. Do
What?
they normally fight monsters and stuff like that?
Oh, this was like full. This was just normal wrestling.
Oh, normally.
However, we did get a little bit of
It wasn't New Japan,
advertisement.
was it? I don't think it should.
No, this was like live action.
Yeah.
Like,
Was it?
I mean,
Was it
in
New
person.
Japan? New Japan Wrestling.
DDT.
Okay. That's probably another like shoot on Japan. That's okay. They've got a lot of leagues in Japan.
Oh, it's just like they have mascots for every station in Japan.
Yeah. The Japanese
However,
mascot game.
However,
he showed us.
I think we need to get some mascots for these guns. This was like the flyer they used to advertise it, by the way. However,
Wait.
I'm trying to get like that. That's why I'm going to the gym so much.
So all three of them entered the boxing match?
oh, just Bravern.
Oh, okay.
In fact, we
Funny.
got Bravern coming out to his theme music, and there's video.
Oh.
Now,
I mean,
I may
technically, two of those guys are the same guy.
I may get clipped for this,
Yeah.
but would you like to see him coming out to the theme music?
Phrasing and yes.
I mean, phrasing, but it fits with the.
Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
I mean, it's on point.
勇気爆発ブレイバーンこれがプロレスラー
I will say that guy does hit the gym pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's got
Somebody.
he's got some decent shoulders on him, and his look at that tricep that's just drooping down.
He has some sweet
Swole.
shoulder pads.
If he didn't have that thing on, you could probably see his delts, but he's got that nice cosplay I don't know what you would call that, like a top.
So we did get a couple of. Oh, can I actually open this? No, I can't. It's the best I have to do. We did get a couple of photos out of the whole thing.
Ooh,
Okay, this is the best I can give you.
well, I'll take it. Victory!
Nice. Do you think it was staged or he's just that awesome?
Oh, he's just that awesome.
A little bit of A and a little bit of Braven.
Definitely call him Bravern.
Now that is a
Ow.
good picture. That's a good snap.
I gotta applaud him. Like I didn't think they would actually be able to get a hero like Bravern, especially if he's like out here shit talking.
You could tell that guy just did like endless like practicing like all the type of like Tokugetsu freaking like body movements, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's just like trying to be like that Japanese superhero team member, just doing all the crazy poses and whatnot.
This is from this is all from a Yahoo Japan article, and it's all had to go through like a translation thing.
Yep.
Where they're kind of giving you a little gist of it. Oh, whoop! I hit a button. The explanation of what the series like. The semifinals, a six-person tag match will be held in Bravern, held for Bravern, Yuki Ueno and MAO versus Yuki. Will be press release. Japanese names, and plus, I don't know if these are being accurate. Go through a translation machine. Professional wrestling debut match for Bravern. Isami Awa has released an MAO costume for the tournament, and the column illustration wearing a Lewis Smith Ueno costume is available, and the excitement is sufficient. The match was held with Haruo Murata, who had a deep drawing on the anime and the live situation, and commentary by Toru Inada, a voice actor who played one of the enemy generals, Kupiridis. It's a story match of youth pilots and meeting a giant robot and fighting a mysterious army. Anyway, yeah. So this is just look. Bravern isn't coming back. I have come to accept this, but we should kind of like ring this out and
Taps
milk
in
it
the
for
chat
everything
from
it
our
is.
boy.
Yeah. They massacred my boy. In a time parallax.
Inada took the microphone and said, "Ga ga ga! It was a great match. My desires have been stoked." My desire has been soaked, but the greedy army is not like this. Our desire is never exhausted. Also, the greedy army will appear in DDT at any time. Until then, Bravern, look forward to it. Kuragaga. Leave the dazzling dialogue to leave with the greedy army. This is what we're doing. We're just taking this.
Yeah.
I didn't think we would be hitting on wrestling here, but here we are.
You know what? I don't mind wrestling every once in a while. It's good stuff.
Like I don't want to try risk because apparently there's some clips of it over on YouTube. It or on X if you look up Bravern Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to risk it any more than I have especially with the wrestling crowd because you know how it gets.
Yeah, they get really and I get it because wrestling has always been kind of a low paying, high risk, low reward kind of employee for the longest time until the days of like Hulk Hogan and those guys. They started making a bit more money, and now they're making a lot of money now, but it's just like two, maybe there's like three big ones, and then everyone else is kind of like chump change, instead of the champ change.
Well, and also you never know what happened. Like it maybe WWF came. WWE came in and basically scooped up all the international rights to all these little leagues.
Oh, yeah.
But that's wrestling for you. It's a soap opera with spandex in a ring. People want to watch for the drama. People want to watch for the action, which is just how I feel about my big robots.
How do you feel about your big robots?
We might have to go to like a private to another like more adult website just so we can like properly explain all this.
Just gotta hit that G-Quack spot. I am going to see that tomorrow.
Oh, okay, good. So I did touch on it a little bit earlier. Essentially, what essentially came out to kind of bring you up to speed, so going in, is it looks like it's basically going to be the first 3 episodes of the upcoming anime condensed.
That's what everyone is saying, and after that, I'm like la 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 la.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna go into any plot details.
Yeah,
it's basically like a movie cut of the first 3 episodes, kind of like what Star Wars, the Clone Wars did with
a lot of shows used to
the
do
Clone
that.
Wars movie.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah,
what there's like the movie pilot essentially.
Mm-hmm.
That they used to big in the 70s and early 80s. Like they used to do that, and
it's basically get you hooked on the story arcs.
One of my favorite, Kung Fu. Kung Fu did that with David Carradine.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, have you guys had any changes about the mech design, about the GQs?
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I actually am. I do like the Evangelion kind of mech designs. That being said, I like it a little less than I would like normal, like the normal Gundam and yeah, I don't know. Like my favorite designs is from the Thunderbolt series, but Let's see. What does
Ronin.
it say? It's like I definitely
Quack, quack.
Gundam aesthetics.
I
Oh, you're
defy.
so sweet. I. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's I I'm not a big fan of the Turn A Gundam.
You don't like the egghead?
You don't like the
Yeah.
Whitebeard?
Yeah, it does look like freaking Dr. Robotnik was so like it's like he was watching Gundam as he was developing his next mech suit.
Mm-hmm.
Because it looks like something Dr. Robotnik would freaking pilot.
Mm-hmm.
The other one though, the other one's okay. It's interesting. It's very unique. I will say that.
Yeah.
It honestly, it does kind of match like what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like a hobbled together kind of thing, right?
Not really, no. The GQs is not necessarily a hobbled together thing.
Oh, okay. Because I heard they were like going in like what is it? I think they were called like clan battles or something like that, where like a team would like build
Like a hot
an
rod.
illegal. It's like
Yeah, that's all true. That's all
yeah,
true.
it's like hot rod racing back in the 50s. It's just like street racing's illegal, and all the kids are like, we're gonna make our own car and race each other.
Well,
It's like
it's kind of akin to where you had a bunch of soldiers from like World War II who kind of came back from the war in the U.S. and many of them who were so used to like the fast-paced action of like motorcycles went and started building their own motorcycle clubs, which is
Mhm.
where we then got that motorcycle club culture.
Yeah. Okay.
This is in a similar way where you have a bunch of people taking a bunch of the old defunct, mobile suits that were used from the war and are being sold to civilians. However, much like how we have certain regulations on our like vehicles, like governators in them, like there are certain things that these civilian mobile suits cannot do, like weapons.
That's true. You can buy a jet. You just can't have a arming computer.
Exactly.
And weapons base. Active weapons base in arming computers. You can't have that, unfortunately. I'm just saying, I would like a helicopter with the. I would definitely not use it for badness. I know I'd only use it for awesomeness.
Mm-hmm.
You be an airwolf.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's yeah. So we'll kind of hold the GQs talk for either. Maybe we'll touch on it a little bit next week, or we'll wait for the series to properly come out, and then we'll probably spend a week of the stream just talking about that extensively.
I'm sure we will.
Yeah, I think you can legally own a tank. Now, I'm not sure if you can legally fire a tank.
Yeah, I feel like there's certain things that might not be allowed to be active.
Now, let's be honest. You can legally own a rifle, but you can't legally fire a rifle wherever you want either. So,
right. I mean, yeah.
Now,
just slightly.
That's the thing. It's like, yeah, you can legally own a tank. That's true. Now, how are you gonna like buy ammunitions for it, though? That's heavily regulated.
Yeah.
Well, you say this, and I'm reminded of the story about how someone went and got a pipe bomb registered.
Yeah.
How? Huh?
Yeah. No. If you go and freaking file paperwork, and the government says it's okay, it's okay. Yeah. Yeah. Technically, yeah. But a railgun tank. That might actually work.
Don't worry, we're just launching rocks.
Yeah, we're just yeah, don't worry. They're just slightly they're just little pebbles of tungsten. It's fine.
So with Gundam in mind,
Mhm.
apparently this past week, in fact, yesterday,
Oh.
there was a little anniversary that hit up on our on the calendar.
Was it like a 30th anniversary of a certain series that we all like?
A little older,
35-year-old?
older.
40-year-old?
Yes.
A 40-year-old series. Okay, so we're talking.
The spiritual, or would the show we just talked about could be a
Is it-
spiritual successor to?
It would
in a
have to
way?
be Char's Counterattack or something close to that.
It's a series, right?
Oh yes.
Zeta Gundam. Okay,
Oh, okay. This isn't what I was thinking, actually.
it was Zeta. All right. Zeta came out. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
When did
Yeah.
Zeta come out? It came out at 85. Really?
March 2nd, 1985.
Wow,
Oh.
I didn't realize they were so excited about Texas Independence Day back then.
So Zeta came out 6 years after Gundam. Okay.
Well, it makes sense because it is one of the first main series after Gundam series, right?
Yeah.
And did they know they were building a franchise at that point?
I assume like Gundam did so well with like the toys and the models and just the merch, and it started to build up. They're like, hey, we should like get another cartoon going and push us in more. Yeah, that'd be it. That's most likely what happened, and lo and behold, Bandai is everywhere.
So let me ask you guys, what's been your overall thought of Zeta Gundam as a series? Because it's one that
One of the ones that like rivals its original.
you think so?
One of the few that rivals its original. Like not a lot of series rival the original. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Bill.
I was gonna say I took the cheap way out a few years ago when Gundam whatever info on YouTube had the movies up.
Yep.
So I know that some of the movies were adjusted and kind of shifted. I know Zeta's okay. Double Zeta, the movie, shifted more so. But watching
Beyond Double Zeta.
yeah, but the Zeta movie at least helped me understand what was going on. I know I skimmed over some things, but at least I got the plot and storyline, which is for free easier than trying to track down those on DVD or anywhere.
Yeah. Gundam it gives you some of the characters from the original cast,
Mhm.
but it puts them in the plot, but it doesn't like focus them in the plot. It did perfectly what Star Wars wanted to do. You know what I mean? The sequels, the Star Wars sequels did those just wrong, and they should have took notes from freaking Zeta, because that's how it's done right there.
See, Zeta Gundam is a series that I think has been, while it's held up pretty well, I feel like in the years since, it's sort of kind of fallen by the wayside. It's kind of fallen fallen aside and has kind of lost to sort of just the iconic status of the original. It's sort of that middle child syndrome.
Well,
It's not the first, and it's not the most recent. It's one of those, yeah.
and I also think, well, the Zeta for Gunpla was a big thing for a while, and they have so many different variants and P Bandai variants of the Zeta, and then it just kind of dropped off like, oh, we've got other things that we're going to push now. And so I think even the designs you don't see as much anymore to kind of call back to it.
And honestly, another thing that's kind of like, not to say that goes bad with the story and how good the series is, but it is a continuation.
Mhm.
So it's not like it's Mobile Suit Gundam versus Zeta Gundam, for this both the series. No, it's when you compare the two, you usually just don't compare the two. You just like, oh, this is the whole season, This is
Mhm.
the second season of Gundam,
Yeah. What? Because it was Gundam, this Double Zeta, and then it led into Char's counterattack, right?
I mean, yeah. If you want to
Yeah.
have a if you want to have a streamlined timeline,
Where's
yes.
all right,
It
DJ
was-
Ronnie G? I know you're eating dinner, but why aren't you at least in the chat helping us with this historical lesson? I mean, I think that guy has a UC tattoo somewhere on his body.
Really?
He might.
I was a joke, but
He might.
I wouldn't put it past him one day.
Oh, don't put
He's
it
gonna
past
come
him.
in and
Put
be
it
like-
on him.
He's gonna come and be like, "I'll have you know that I only have one for Turn A Gundam."
True.
He's like, "My favorite Gundam is Captain Gundam from the SD show."
I just picture him like try to like eat his meal real quick so I can type vigorously in the chat, being like, "It's Victory Gundam. I like Victory Gundam. Damn it!"
Yeah, and Vince, that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier. I think the new translations are the movies that I saw.
You
Not
realize
the old
this is
stuff.
he's gonna come like jumping out of the screen and punch us like Camille.
That's
Oh,
fair.
Camille.
Who, by the way, has a girl's name.
Insult to injury.
I like how we posted it at the same time.
Nothing ever bad happens to the Titans.
Oh my goodness, the Titans. They're like,
Is that Char Bravo?
no, that's
I was thinking
Jared.
sucks.
That's
Oh,
that's
sorry.
Lieutenant Jared. Yeah.
Jared
They
Bravo.
went to Jared.
Oh.
Oh yes, this guy on Twitter, Lego do Moko, has been doing a bunch of Lego stuff for Gundam. Just
Nice.
like oh, look at this. He went and did two of the he went and did our main characters from GQs.
Oh, nice. GQs.
Like, oh, what was her name? Machu. It's the one to the right. Because it sounds like Machu Picchu.
That's
And I don't remember the one to the left. I'll probably learn it by the time the show is on the air and finally going. But
yeah. Any of you guys gonna check it out on the theaters?
got my ticket.
Oh, you seen it already?
I went and saw it Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, lucky duck.
No,
Did you see it in
he's-
IMAX?
No.
Oh.
he's
Yeah,
No, I wasn't
only
that
time-
lucky.
Yeah, the only time they had it on Thursday, and they had it in like it's like Somerville, Massachusetts. And I was just like, no, I can't go there. A, I'm working, and B, and it's just like, this is the only time we're doing it. I'm like, God dang it. Oh well. On a
Fine, I
Thursday
guess
too.
I'll-
It's like a random Thursday. It's like
You're like, fine, I guess I'll go and have the amazing IMAX experience because Disney didn't want to pay for 4 weeks of IMAX exclusivity for Captain America.
yeah. I just hate how that happens sometimes. It's like, yeah, like the big freaking Disney shows, they'll just suck up all the IMAX time because they can, and they'll pay the and if you're the movie theater, you're gonna be like, yeah, we'll take your money, but it's just like, can you give the other places a chance? I want to see I want to see another movie. I want to see a good movie in IMAX, not all the shitty. It's oh well.
Yeah, I found myself last year, and I collect my ticket stubs. I've been going to more classic films that match my schedule or my interest than anything recent. Like, Hollywood's gonna survive. Ultimately, Hollywood and the IP holders are gonna be fine because they've got this back catalog of movies that people will pay to see. Even if it's like on Tubi, on like some sort of streaming service with ads, or they're gonna pay the $9, $10, $50 a month for Netflix.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I watched Sonic. I think that was the last one, and then I watched Wolverine Deadpool. I watched that one theaters. Did I watch anything in between that? I don't think I did.
The last things I've seen in theaters are Wolverine and Borderlands.
Didn't you say you
Borderlands?
Did you say you went just for the sake of the popcorn bucket?
Pretty much.
I saw Dune in theaters. And
saw that.
Yeah.
I hadn't before Deadpool though. I hadn't been to the movie theater since Free Guy.
I didn't watch
several years ago. The Ryan Reynolds one.
Yeah, I know that one. I didn't see that in theaters. I saw Godzilla -1 in theaters. That was fun.
Nice.
That was like a really good freaking movie time.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what else after that.
Free Guy was 2021? Yeah. So it had been like 3 years since I'd been to a theater.
Yeah.
So
I haven't
Vince,
seen movie theaters that much lately. Huh.
What would it take for you to go back? Would it have to be an amazing movie that makes you want to go back, or maybe just playing a classic that you love? Like, what if they played Star Wars?
Star Wars, into the Star Wars.
Okay, so a couple things. There wasn't a big pull for obviously since the Kufiv,
the thing.
Yeah, because I mean they were only putting out so many non Disney / non superhero movies because I remember like a decade ago we had Focus Features and they're starting to come back, but like some of the indie, some of the lower budget, some of the just kind of slice of life stuff, and all of a sudden everything had to be super big budget and theatrical and I was like, that's cool, that's neat. And even before Disney went with you have to watch every season of every show every 2 months, and we're like, I don't care, I can't keep up. Like it just like I remember seeing Isle of Dogs because I like Wes Anderson and it was the claymation stuff, That
was a good show.
But like there's so many movies that with all the CGI and all the AI and all the it's not even a real set piece. Like seeing Walter Mitty, I was talking about this earlier tonight. Seeing like a movie like that with on the big or IMAX with the grand, like a real grandscape, right? With the mountains and all this like real filmed on location stuff is awesome. But when it's so much CGI explosions and CGI this, and it's not even practical effects or like the old Godzilla, to scale buildings, right? It's like, how does that really change? Do you really have to see it on a big screen?
Yeah, the guy in the rubber suit bashing all the bigatures.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good point, Vince. I didn't realize I didn't realize, or I keep forgetting that you're not in the U.S.
Yeah, I forget that too sometimes.
My apologies.
No.
Also, Hound 3000, welcome. I don't. That's a name I've not recognized before. Haven't been to a cinema for a few years now since COVID, I think. It took a couple of years before I started going. It took a little bit for me to go back as well, because like also all the the weird TDS started happening, got really weird to see in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
or you just like didn't want to support certain things.
Mhm.
And so like but then like they kept putting out these classics where I'm like, yeah, I absolutely want to see this. And I would go see like episode 1 was in theaters last year, so I went and saw that.
Oh yeah, that was fun. A lot of people. I didn't get a chance to watch that because that was a week that was really busy. But I'm glad everyone had a good time watching episode 1.
I was the only person in that theater.
And that is an awesome feeling sometimes.
Sometimes.
How does recent regular?
Yeah. I mean, I've known Hound for a while.
Why don't I remember this?
I don't know.
You know, Vince, I'm gonna blame Monday. This is
Okay.
Monday's revenge. Okay, for once, I will admit this is that.
It's been a bloody Monday, I'll tell you.
You know, if you leave a few dog treats out, I think I'll accept.
Keeps in Zalkas. See, when I saw the name Hound, I got a little excited. I thought it was the Transformer.
Oh. Yeah, you do have a brain of reference points.
I was like, oh yeah, it's totally like that. It's totally like this like super obscure character, like Slapshot.
So
The thing is, I don't know if there's an actual character named Slapshot in Transformers, but at this point, I'm sure. Either that or watch, he'll probably about it being a G.I. Joe.
Slapshot should be a Zamboni.
yeah,
There's a Zamboni and he turns into a like a hockey player guy.
Wait. There's that actual Transformer named Slapshot.
There is. Is he a Zamboni? If he's not a Zamboni, I'm gonna be pissed.
No, it was a name they put together on just like a random PS2 game character.
Oh, okay.
interesting.
He doesn't look like it. Is he a Zamboni?
And it was. Oh wait, do we actually have? Let's see. Same base models. These 4 characters. Do we actually have a toy? Because like it looks like looks like those should be engines that just should be for some vehicle.
He maybe he's like a version of Luke's speeder, just sideways.
I don't like him, but it's okay.
I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't like
Because
the
you're
way
not
you
where
look.
you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be a Zamboni that turns into like a hockey player robot.
He doesn't like the way you look either.
So mind you, these are just like these little like intended to be super tiny like Transformers that would just plug into other Transformers. That was the whole point of those.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it was kind of a throwaway name. That's unfortunate.
Hold on, Vince. Red Wings. Yes, I understood the hockey bit. I'm like, my northern card is being insulted here. I can't have this. We're out here in the Midwest. Of course we know hockey.
Yeah.
Of course we know hockey.
Don't you know?
I watched my
I was
share of.
referring to hockey when I said Zamboni and turning into a robotic hockey player. No, I wasn't talking about hockey. No.
Yeah, when I talk about high sticking, it's something entirely different. Wait.
Just, you know, five in the box. Go.
Power play.
That's 5. 5 minutes for high sticking.
So, I was just going to say, theater-wise, I think I mentioned this, but our small theater that was one of the ones that got absorbed by AMC after the whole everything was going under, when they just let it run down until it was nothing. So they closed it down fairly recently. So I can't, even if I wanted to buy a popcorn bucket, I have to drive like 30, 40 minutes away.
Oh, so AMC, like, they bought it, but then they closed it?
So, like, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, you know, during that time when theaters were not getting much, there was a whole bunch of just smaller chains and like dollar theaters and local theaters, not stadium seating, kind of dilapidated. They bought up a whole, because I was traveling at the time and I saw this in a bunch of towns, and they bought up a whole bunch of things. So they had their like really nice ones that they, and then they had these other ones that you're like, oh, it's an AMC. No, the brand means nothing because AMC could be, it's kind of like a La Quinta hotel 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It could be,
Yeah, there's no AMCs over here. The closest AMC is in Salem, New Hampshire.
okay.
All the movie theater chains are just getting bought up, and
yeah, that's
they're
like
sort of
45
fading away.
Right.
Like 45 minutes to almost,
but
it's like 35-minute drive. Yeah.
I think what they did is basically there were all these chains that were failing, so they bought them super cheap, and they saw that they were small towns or areas where people would still go until they just ran down and became unprofitable, and then basically just cut the loss or could sell them off for, make more of a profit by selling them off than trying to keep them running. So I think they just used it as a, what do you call it? When you're at home, basically on life support, hospice care.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, if nothing else, they're at the very least they have the value of the property.
Right.
But speaking about valuable properties, there was one last little thing that kind of popped up on my feed this week, or rather yesterday, in fact, that I wanted to show off here. You know how we love Transformers has been known for a lot of these weird collaborations. Some make sense, some don't. You're like, why are they doing that? Why are they doing those two? Or you say like, oh, that makes perfect sense. Like when we got the Ghostbusters Ecto one, or when we got the Knight Rider, or when we got the jet from Top Gun. Well, we've got another one of those, and this time it's one that makes a lot of sense. Actually, we're getting Hot Wheels
leading the way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean that's on point. Dang, Skippy.
Oh, look at that! One of the classic Hot Wheels hot rods.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I like his hood ornament.
Oh, it's great. I love the way with this toy that they were able to take the chest piece up.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, this wasn't my favorite Hot Wheel toy as a kid. I liked having that little shark car.
Yeah.
You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think I do.
I liked all the. I was an IndyCar guy. As I was like on my race car rug is all Indy cars almost. A couple pace cars, but mostly Indy cars.
This was a close second. This design was a close second. So this is one I am pretty tempted to get just because it looks so freaking cool. And also, I know my brother was a big Hot Wheels collector, and so this is something I could kind of show him and kind of maybe get him to check some of this stuff out. I'm like, hey, bro, check it out,
Mm.
But we aren't just getting one of these bad boys. No. With Hot Wheels, you got to have a few.
Clearly. Oh, is this a shark?
I wish.
Oh. Classic.
We gotta have the futuristic car.
Yeah.
Of course.
Wait, Vince. It speaks to you.
Yeah. I don't see it, but I get it. Things all just resonate for reasons, right?
Yeah. See,
I choose to believe that's a word for it. Resonate.
I choose to believe that this character speaks with the voice of Skeletor. Meh. I'll get you next time, He-Man.
Skeletor could be like the negative version of the Confucius meme. He's basically kind of become that. The cheesy puns,
Mm-hmm.
In a way inverted. The anti-hero. No, that's not right. Not everything's an anti-hero anymore.
Yeah, he's not an anti-hero. He's just a villain.
Yeah, I mean, he's the anti-Confucius. But it was more, yeah. I was more trailing off how everything was. I'm just kidding. You know how for like a couple of years, even Taylor Swift thought she was an anti-hero?
Cecilia Zabi.
Well,
She is in the antagonist camp. Is she a bad? I don't know. Like
So-
she is in charge of the secret police and all that.
you know, so one little minor spoiler. Well, not really a spoiler, but just one little thing I want to point out with the upcoming.
Garen is
the
a villain,
GQs.
straight up a villain.
The fact that Gundam GQs is changing the timeline of the Universal Century.
Yeah, they're
Means-
Elfworld in it. I like it.
Yes, so a lot of those villains that we saw from way back when, who we saw die off, can potentially be brought back.
Yeah, let's bring back. Let's bring back Rumble Row. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, like, wait,
I was
We
just
can
like,
get more Rumble
is
Row.
he gonna say it? Should I allow him to say it? No, I'm just gonna say it. Rumble Row. We bring him back.
Well,
or we can get
We're
more of
bringing him back
Makuve in his
and,
windowless van,
What's that?
or we can get more of Makuve with his windowless van.
Oh my God, Mokuve.
I mean, they tried to pay homage to Ramba Ral in the Build Fighters, which was kind of terrible. But they acknowledged that he was a significant part of the franchise.
I mean, Robert Rell is one of those characters that's just gone on to become so beloved with the general Gundam as a whole.
His
that
arc was
he's
really good.
Yeah.
Not only that, we saw him in Gundam: The Origin as well, where he got to be a total Chad. It's just, he's one of the best beloved characters. One of the characters who got the best attention, best love. No one has ever said a negative thing about Ron Burrell.
They really gave him a time to shine in the Origins.
Wait, you like him because he was technically on the antagonist side. You know, he was on the baddies, but he was respectable. He used what he got, even though he didn't get very good logistic support. He made it work. He took over the base technically.
Well, here, let me give you this juxtaposition. Yeah, not that one, but
I will say, I wish I want to believe that's where he ended up. He didn't blow up. He just got isekai'd into the build world.
Fair enough. Maybe that's a better end for him. But no, but hear me out, this juxtaposition, because you make a valid point. So Ramba Rao is especially in the Origins, he's the smooth jazz, he's a Chad, ladies love him. Like, he's got a code. He's got this sort of, there's a lot of people that would go to bat for him, and he's not just a soldier. He thinks for himself, right? And then you take Char, who's an idealist, who also has a code, but he's ruthless, right? So Char and Ramba aren't too different in a lot of ways, but Ramba's not the guy who's he doesn't have the chip on his shoulder because somebody killed his dad either, right? Sorry, spoilers. Like, they have a lot in common, but Ramba is the guy who's not trying to be the head of anything. He's just trying to do well with what he has and enjoy it and appreciate life and live by a code and have honor and respect, right? But you'd think that Char in a different world, or they could have. They're two sides of a similar coin. Is basically what I'm trying to say.
He's living in the here and now.
Yeah.
Operation Meat Shield. I'm immediately. My mind is going to Operation Meteor, which sounds very similar. And I mean, really, wasn't that kind of the same premise? Like,
it was exactly that premise.
A wild beat.
We're gonna grab young orphans. Well, Hiro's the orphan. I think Troa's an orphan. I'm not sure if Duo is. I know.
Kind of.
Quattro is still like has family and like a bunch of servants with their own.
Yeah,
mobile
he's
suits.
like filthy rich. Wu Fei,
You know what? Wu Fei disowned his own mother. He's like, "You're a woman. Get away from me." He's like, "I hate the fact that like a woman bore me."
Wu Fei had a lot of teen
Which is why he's the
angst.
best. Tro is the best.
To each their own.
But to each their own. Each their own. My favorite is Troa. Just straight up Troa.
I mean, Heavy Arms.
Yeah, Heavy Arms is good. Just forget which Gundam they pilot. It's the pilot. This
Okay.
It's the pilot we're judging, and Troa is the best.
I mean, also hang on. I was trying to find something for this, and I think Reddit gave me the best example, and it comes from a game. So, for once, I can say thanks, Reddit.
Wait, I gotta get close to the screen to read this. A woman, I see. That explains your stupidity.
I mean, I don't think you need a localizer to know that's what he means.
Based.
That is 100% like authentic. There was nothing lost in translation from the localizers.
Wu Fei was an incel to begin with. Oh, sorry, not incel. MGTOW.
Okay. Now you're losing me in the jargon.
MGTOW. Make colonies great again.
Yeah, MGTOW. Yeah.
Make meat shields great again. Yeah. I would say I wouldn't ever go with Hero because he's just too militant child sort of thing. And then who's Death Scythe?
Oh, it's Duo.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't mind Duo. I would definitely pick him second in volleyball.
But no, I would say Troa and Duo are probably my faves.
True. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, because yeah.
Yeah, Duo's good. Out of the Gundam pilots, obviously Sex Monkeys is probably my favorite pilot in the series itself. But
right, but we were talking about the kids.
Yeah, we're talking about the Gundam pilots.
Right.
It would probably be Troa 1, Hiro, UE 2.
Oh.
And then I'm going. Yeah, I'll go Duo. I'll go Duo, Wu Fei, and then yeah, that's how I would do it.
Like he's just like whatever, y'all. I don't care. And also his American voice actor was like very well known. Did a lot of like very recognizable. That just kind of like mid higher squeak, and he just especially
that kind of throws me off because I don't like it when it's just like, hey, you're in like everything, you know?
Yeah. Well,
and you haven't changed your voice at all.
No.
Wait, real quick, let me break in here real quick. You just gave me the perfect segue because I wanted to show this. Just came across my feed. And I have to show this off.
Okay.
Speaking about like being in everything, I mean.
Those toys.
Jack Black playing Jack Black in the Jack Black show. That's the only time I would actually accept Jack Black.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see this.
Kung Fu Panda was
okay.
Kung Fu Panda is okay, but then again, Kung Fu Panda, it's a CGI character that's all cartoony, so that's the only reason why I find that acceptable.
I was at Ollie's today, and there are so many marbles.
I don't know if there's an Ollie's around here. I don't think there is.
I had to stop and like, holy crap, fat Jack Black action figure. No.
I did see a picture of that the other day, and it's traumatizing.
Yeah, I don't know. I used to find them entertaining, but now I just like,
No, I've been sick of him for a while. He's on that list of actors who I don't want to see in things anymore with Ryan Reynolds
Like-
and The Rock.
Like post 2016, it's just like no more Jack Black, please.
Yeah, like Chris Hart.
Kevin Hart. Yeah, Kevin Hart.
No,
That's
I
the
don't
same thing
know.
with Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Or Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal. I think he's just not a very good actor in general. I was like watching his things, just like, is he actually good in anything? I'm like, just like going through the lines and just like, yeah,
Or
he's mediocre
Zendaya.
here.
So to quote,
Game of
Zoolander,
Thrones was the only thing I actually like thought he was decent in, but that was it.
but like Zoolander, being a lump of clay to be molded. I feel like Pedro Pascal is that lump of clay that's being molded, but he's just kind of there.
They just like leave him as a shit pile.
hmm
Nobody's touching him.
Oh, everybody's touching him because he's in everything.
Yeah.
He's in more things than Jack Black lately.
What a whore.
Well, yes, but also there's things that I hadn't been paying attention to or watching cinema in theaters, and so I'll find an old movie or an older show and like, Pedro is in this? What? Like, I can't remember what it was now, but every now and then it's just like, oh, he's been around doing stuff since then. Why was he in this show? Why was he here?
It's true. You can hear robots scream in space.
And I would
They
rather
scream
hear
in
those
binary. That's why.
Yeah.
100101011 2.
He went trinary. Oh no!
But I think this has been fun. And I think it's probably a good place to call it for the night. We've had our fun. We've had our love of these big robots.
Did we?
Yes, we love them more than Pedro Pascal.
We
That's
imagine
true.
ourselves getting wrestled and pinned down by Bravern.
Da, 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 da.
Darn.
You know what, Decibel?
Wait, I still function.
Wanna bet?
I still feel.
Wanna bet?
I don't know. That reminds you. Remember the end of Equilibrium?
No.
What?
I've never seen an Equilibrium.
What? Okay, so it's Christian Bale, Gun Kata. It's kind of like Fahrenheit 450. Sean Bean is in it too.
And he dies?
Yep, as per usual. But it's like Fahrenheit 451 meets The Matrix, and it's probably almost 20 years old now.
Was that the one where they had the bugs being ground up for paste?
No. You take your equilibrium pills to like stifle your emotions.
Oh.
And then they go hunt down and destroy things that make people feel. Because feelings and emotions are bad.
Oh, was I not supposed to take the Equilibrium pill now? Or...
Mm-hmm.
Damn it, I swallowed like 6 of them. Oh well.
Well, you're gonna be.
I am gonna be the most equilibriumed out here.
That means you're just gonna be deadpan like half of my humor.
That's better deadpan than bedpan, they say.
Yeah. No.
Thank you.
I agree, Vince. The gun kata stuff was a little bit silly. There is some metaphor. There is some. You can tell that it's not a 1-to-1 ratio. There's some silly stuff, and it's. You can tell that there's things in the movie. It's kind of an alliteration to a few things, but I don't want to ruin it. It was a fun experience. And are emotions really for women?
Yes.
Philip, equilibrium pills are white. It's a white pill. We're hopeful here.
No.
But with that, guys, I think it's a good place to call it. Try this once again.
Sorry.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling pretty hopeful. I feel hopeful for what you guys got coming up this week. So,
Sidetrack.
Without further ado, what's going on in the sidetrack, Snacks? What you got coming up?
Tomorrow I'm gonna go see the movie. I
Can we
probably
expect a little video?
I'll bring Gator with me. I'll bring him in the backpack, and I'll come back here, and then I'll have to. I did readjust the pattern, so I'll probably do some cutting and then maybe some sewing online on video tomorrow. So we might do some. You might see me put together a jacket or a coat, a thingy. So I'm still trying to figure out how to make a suit. It's hard.
Mm-hmm. You've been off more than you could chew, eh?
Yeah, it's what I made was good. It fits okay. It doesn't drape quite well. And I have to this new model. I when I do the chalking and cutting, I have to make sure I give a good amount of seam allowance and draw the seam allowances in the proper placements, which is.
Did you say semen?
That's what I heard twice. He
Seam
needs an
allowance.
No.
Seam allowance.
You had me a blood and semen.
I hope that horny monsters invade your sleep tonight. You gotta wake up and just like the Star Wars.
No.
Your pillows are covered. It's just like, ew, pillows are sticky. Sweet dreams, Ironcasters. Check me out tomorrow night, 9:00.
Well, Ironcaster. Yep, that's what I saw. That's what I heard, DJ.
What's coming up?
Well, as ever hopeful as Ironcaster is that he sees tomorrow morning with a dry pillow and whatever's going on with Snacks. And
Really,
I don't know.
You too?
I'm trying to stay positive.
Yes.
And you should check out my Breaking the Ice video about the rivers and streams that you're used to, and not about your allowance.
Yes.
All 10 millimeters of it.
Yeah, 10 millimeters of semen allowance, just covered in your pillows. 10 millimeter.
I'm very concerned.
Well, guys,
what I said is a very common thing in sewing and stitching.
So what? All right. With that said, guys, check me out over on Pops tomorrow for Talk Hard, where we're hitting up what was that? Forbidden Kingdom, little Jackie Chan Jet Li action, little martial arts mayhem.
Oh, that was a good movie. I like that one.
Yeah. It was an isekai.
Technically, yeah.
Then be hanging out with T-shirts. So, check me out over there. Follow me over on Twitter at the Ironcaster, where we'll find out more about the seam allowance.
There you go. Make sure you have the proper placement.
Oh, what? We're still doing this.
Yes.
Thanks for coming for the show. I just no,
Alright, you
Gator,
got-
Gator. No, I was joking. Don't go to Ironcaster's place, please.
You know, you got a new clip. You get a new clip to end the show on.
Lynn is alone with the grimoire.
I stab it! Wait! I backstab it!
Good call.
You can't backstab it. You can't sneak attack an inanimate object.
Why not? It's prone.
It doesn't have a discernible anatomy.
It's got a spine, doesn't it?